Man, there were so many good movies that came out last year.
Yeah, I bet the Oscars are going to be full of so many good movies. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Eek.
Eek.
Today, we are going to be talking about the Oscars and why they have such a bad relationship with horror movies.
Well, why do they?
I don't know. I guess we're going to have to figure it out.
We're going to tell you now, together.
But all jokes aside, we are pretty excited for the Oscars this year, just because The Substance got how many Oscars did The Substance?
5.
How many do we got? Holy 5!
Yeah, dude.
That's actually like unironically a very big deal because
Yes.
horror movies do rarely get that. In 3 of the Oscars that The Substances get it like nominated for is Best Picture,
What?
Best Actress, and
What?
Best Director.
What?
So pretty big deal. And not for nothing, Nosferatu did get 4 Oscar nominations. However, they're not like the big ones. It's like costume design and stuff. Nothing's bad.
Give me Oscar. All right, we're just having
All
fun
right.
here. We're all having a good time. The Oscars have been around for 100 years, and guess how many horror movies have been nominated for Best Picture? Guess. Put it in the comments.
Is it 38? Is it 138?
No, it's not. It is 7 movies. That's it. 100 years. 100 years ago, they were cooking turkeys over a fire with a stick.
That's true. I think that's exactly what was happening 100 years ago.
And only 7 movies have been nominated for Best Picture of the horror variety. That's pretty screwed up if you ask me. Only 1 has actually ended up winning Best Picture too, and that was Silence of the Lambs, which is a dank movie. But guess what? The genre is not getting enough representation, and we don't like that around here. So that brings us to The Substance again, where it's really dope that it actually got nominated.
Yeah, so the fact that The Substance like even just got nominated is like a huge deal. Like less than 10 movies in almost 100 years. It's amazing. And also Coralie Farge, the director of The Substance, is the only woman director that has like directed any of these horror movies to get nominated. So another very big deal.
So the only ones that have been nominated were The Exorcist, Silence of the Lambs, who took the dub, Jaws, I love Jaws, who doesn't love Jaws, Black Swan, Get Out, The Sixth Sense, and now The Substance. Welcome to the club, The Substance. We hope you take it away.
We would love nothing more than that, than for you to beat out Wicked. Even though at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if a bunch of like film critics and people with not always good tastes tell you should like a movie. It should just matter if you do like the movie. However, at the end of the day, it's nice for a movie you love to be recognized on such a huge scale, as well as like winning an Oscar, just like especially one as big as Best Picture, makes so many like opportunities for like all the cast and crew that worked on it and everything to just do more of that and make bigger and better movies.
Yeah,
so,
it's the best movie.
Yeah, so it's definitely nice. So we do hope The Substance pulls away with Best Picture.
For any of our blind fans out there, it's like winning a Grammy.
So we're gonna talk about the history on the first Oscars and like where it started, why it started, stuff like that. So, Danny, do you know why the Oscars were originally made?
To showcase the talents of actor, director.
Wrong. You couldn't be more wrong. So
Lord have Murphy talking to me like that in the year of the snake.
Essentially, the Oscars were made in the late 1920s. Louis B. Mayer. Boo! This guy stinks! He created the Academy of Motion Pictures, Arts and Sciences, or AMPAS, to stop unions from forming in Hollywood, so he didn't have to pay people more. So that's essentially why that all started, and we have an exact quote from Louis B. Mayer, who on why the Oscars specifically became a thing. And here is the quote. All right.
Okay.
I found that the best way to handle filmmakers was to hang medals all over them. If I got them cups and awards, they'd kill themselves to produce what I wanted. That's why the Academy Award was created.
Yeah, that's absurd. And it doesn't surprise me at all. It kind of seems like that's the way everything goes. It's just let's take advantage of people and then make money, and that's clearly what he wanted. But you'd like to think that in the sanctity of art, that some people would be a little more nice, a little more generous, a little better of people. But guess what? They're
Art.
not. I ever heard
What's
of
art?
Dan Schneider.
Business.
This is business. This is big business. This is capitalism.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right in the roaring 20s. This was right at the beginning of the Great Depression. It started in 1929. So
Check out my dragon.
thanks to Louis B. Mayer. That's just kind of a little reminder of where it started, and also like a why the hell do we care of what these people think?
So why did all these filmmakers get treated like that? What's the big idea? Well, let's start off with who's picking the winners. Who's doing it? It's not you. It's not. You might be able to do some fan voting on Twitter or X, formerly known as Twitter. Ew. So the AMPAS still votes on what does and does not win Oscars. They're still behind there pulling the strings. They're doing all the good stuff. And there's only 10,000 people that vote. That's not a lot of guys. But guess what? It is a lot of guys. It sure is a lot of guys. I'll let Declan explain that a little bit.
Yeah, because in 2023, Vanity Fair reported that that this just under 10,000 guys was a 65% increase to like a decade before. So that's a lot of people in 10 years. It is for a good reason though, because it was in an initiative to make it more of like a diverse, more fair board of people voting, and not just a bunch of old ass white dudes.
See what I was saying earlier? Is a bunch of guys. It was
Bunch of dudes.
bunch of stinky diaper incontinence aisle shop ass old guys. Bunch
Oh,
of guys that shop for Pampers for their big fat wrinkly butts.
Up until 2016, all of the people in AMPAS had lifetime memberships and in voting rights on these movies, which like yeah, no wonder everyone's an old fart in there. Like,
what is this? The United States Senate?
And yeah, so it makes sense that it would be biased if it's filled of like a bunch of just like very old people, because obviously times change and they're not gonna like new things. They're not gonna like things they've never seen before. And the main way to get in was either you win an Oscar, which they pick, or you get recommended by two of the already existing board members. So it's just like a continuous cycle of like one specific like type of like person's taste just continuously getting brought right back in. So it's really lame, and this isn't just a just with horror movies. Like the Oscars do have a very long history of just like being very
Being very hot. What are they being?
the Oscars do have a very long history of being very, very racist and sexist. So, yeah,
Bunch of
who
old
would have?
white guys for being racist and sexist?
Yeah, who would have thought the thing started in 1929 to save studios monies is not very happy. And there's a lot of instances of this, so we're not going to talk about all of them because it's honestly just a lot of it's very upsetting, and you know it sucks. But one of the like most recent examples was when Parasite won Best Picture in 2019. One of the AMPAS members was asked about what they thought about Parasite winning, and they said
and then they were like, "Where were the zombies?"
yeah.
I watched the whole damn movie and there were no zombies. What the? It's called Parasite, isn't it? Where are the zombies? Where are they? I don't know.
With one of the AMPAS members speaking on it and saying that they did not believe that foreign films should be able to win Best Picture with the regular movies, and that they should just be in foreign films category. So that's kind of you could see where that's kind of an issue, and that these people kind of suck. So
yeah, call it the Oscars if you want it to be the American one. What about what if it's like a Canadian movie then? Like a large majority, like Vancouver is a huge film hub for where movies are shot. If a movie's shot in Canada, and say has like a couple Canadian leads. There's Canadian guys out there.
That is a
Maybe the
good
director
question.
happens to be from Canada. What are you gonna consider it a foreign film? Can't
Yeah,
win any
yeah. It's
awards. Because if they did do that, that would be big time racist, and I would have to post on Twitter about it.
yeah, and it's just it just feels very like pick and choose. So it while it seems like they're like trying to take steps forward, or at least appearing to take steps forward, there's clearly still a long way to go.
At the end of the day, we don't have to listen to these people, but it is still important to get nominated because this opens up a bunch of opportunities for a bunch of talented people. Like who's that guy? And Will Ferrell. I bet he's got one under his belt somehow or some way. I bet if he didn't get an Oscar, he'd be on the streets right now. He'd be drumming for the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
While we hope that The Substance wins, there are always award shows that are specifically for horror movies. That if you love
Yeah.
horror movies as much as we do, you can go see them, get their recognition, and get hype on it. So like they have the Fangoria Chainsaw Awards, which won't be for a little while. They're usually more towards the end of the year, but I know the Dead Meat Horror Awards here on YouTube are coming up pretty soon, and those are pretty rad. They have an award for Best Kill. We love it.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Support the movies you love because not everybody's gonna always do that. We gotta go because we got a lot of stuff to do. You wouldn't believe it. It's ridiculous. You wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it.